What's going on? Welcome to my channel before it's too late. My name's Charlie. This is a channel for motivation, goals, adventures. So if you like what you see, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if there's any suggestions you have for adventures and things that you'd like me to cover or do. And follow along as we go through the adventures I've done before and the new adventures I have. Thank you. Alright, so if you watched the first video, it talked about my near-death experience. Traveling on the freeway, and I end up in a ditch. So, I get home, I feel okay. Now, I have pain medication in my system at this point. Most people will tell you soft tissue damage or with soft tissue damage. It doesn't hurt until the day after. And that is exactly what happened. I woke up and it was this feeling of that didn't really just happen. And then I went to sit up to use the restroom and my complete abdominal set of muscles spasmed. And it hurt so bad, I had to force myself to lay back down flat. And then I attempted to try again after the spasms had subsided, and it did the same thing. So here I am, I'm laying in bed, I'm by myself, home alone, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of bed without using my abdominal muscles. So what I ended up doing is I ended up army crawling to my closet, grabbing some 550 cord or rope, tying it around the bedroom door handle, going back to my bed, then grabbing the rope and pulling myself up like a plank of wood. So for the first couple of weeks to a month, that's how I got out of bed, because I couldn't bend at my hips. Here I am, I finally recovered 6 months later, approximately, from my injuries. My wound on my arm, it was quite deep, about 2 fingers worth to the elbow. So what they did, because it's a puncture wound, I had a family friend who's a wound nurse give me some silver nitrate gauze, and I would pack the wound and clean the wound every day to get the wound to close from the inside out. And luckily it healed really well. My scar isn't nearly as bad as it would have been, otherwise it would have collapsed. So thank you, Karen, for your wound care. I really appreciate that. So here we are. My wounds have healed. The insurance has given me insurance money. And I now do not want to ride a motorcycle, at least not right away. I didn't trust myself. I felt like it was a sign that I shouldn't be riding. After about 2 years had gone by, I started looking for motorcycles that I would like. And I added that they needed to have ABS and traction control. And I added that because that would have helped in my accident. If I had ABS and traction control, I most likely would have been able to stop the bike in time. But unfortunately, modulating the brakes on gravel and oil, it's still locked up and I wasn't able to maintain traction. So I looked at bikes that had ABS and traction control, and I knew I wanted a cruiser. And during my time with the Suzuki Marauder, so I had a Suzuki Marauder 1600, that's the bike that I crashed, 1,000-pound motorcycle, pretty powerful, pretty fun, but it had no traction control, no ABS. It was a very antiquated motorcycle for the time. We're talking about 2017, and the bike was a 2012. I take it to Good Times Motorsports in Sacramento. Shout out to Laura. She definitely knows what she's doing. She is great with customer service, and I'm having routine maintenance on the Suzuki Marauder. And I remember going through the showroom and I saw this black and white bike, and I sat on it and I thought it was the most gorgeous bike I had ever seen. Me being naive and not knowing what it was, I said, you know what? This is my dream bike. I'm going to buy this thing. I'm going to buy this bike. I'm going to make this happen. And then I looked at the sticker and it was $25,900. I was shocked. It turned out it was a 2011 Ducati Diavolo AMG, but I thought the bike was gorgeous. So now I have a dream bike. Fast forward. My Suzuki Marauder's destroyed. I have insurance money. It's 2 years later. One of only a handful of bikes at the time had ABS and traction control, and one of them was a Ducati Diavolo. So I started looking at them, thinking, I have some money. Let's see if I can make this happen. I don't have a lot. I think the insurance company gave me $8,500 for the bike. And so I'm looking around. I start finding Ducati Diavolos in the area, Sacramento, NorCal area. They're about $16,000. And then I expanded my search and I really liked the carbon fiber version. So I looked for those. I found one in Long Beach at a Honda dealership. What I did is I went on to KBB and I looked up the value of a Ducati Diavolo, a 2011 carbon fiber Ducati Diavolo. I looked in for trade-in value and I looked in for private seller. And then I looked at the dealership value and I picked a value in the middle. I believe they were selling it for $14,000. It was already slightly customized. I called the dealership and I said, hi, my name's Charlie. I'm interested in your Ducati Diavolo carbon. And I said, is it still, do you still have it in the dealership showroom? And they said, yes. I said, if I fly down there and take a look at it and I like it, will you take $8,000 cash? And they asked, where are you from? And I said, the Sacramento area. And they said, we're in Long Beach, right? And I said, yes. And they said, okay, fine. If you fly down here and you like it and you give us $8,000 cash, we'll give it to you. I flew down there, one-way ticket with my motorcycle gear. I showed up and they were actually really surprised that I actually showed up. They thought I was joking. Took it for a ride, came back, offered them the $8,000 cash. It was $8,500 exactly out the door. And that was tax, title, license, and a new rear tire. After I bought it, I went and got lunch and then started to ride back from Long Beach. So I went through LA traffic and then I spent the night in Monterey and then went all the way back up, made an adventure out of it. So that's how I bought my bike and that's how I bounced back after my accident. So here's my bike. This Ducati is a 2011 carbon fiber Ducati Diavolo. It has the 1198cc L-twin from the legendary Superbike. The Diavolo has 162 horsepower and 94 foot-pounds of torque stock. This propels it to 60 miles an hour in 2.6 seconds and the quarter mile in 10.2 seconds. Stock, it weighs 488 pounds wet. My bike has full Termignani exhaust, a power commander, custom CRG controls and mirrors, Rizoma fluid reservoirs, a quick shifter, lithium-ion battery, and every part that could be made out of carbon fiber has been replaced for looks and decreased weight. I love carbon fiber, and of course, it also has the distinctive Ducati see-through clutch cover by Ducabike. Here you see two tires, so the back of my Ducati Diavolo, and you also see a full-size spare that I used for the 2001 Camaro that I'll be doing a video on later. This Ducati Diavolo has a 240mm rear tire. The full-size spare for a 2001 Z28 Camaro is 245 millimeters. That's what came on at factory stock, to give you an idea. And Ducati was able to put this size rear tire in the back without minimizing or disturbing handling. And as you see, I use every millimeter of it, and the chicken strips I like to keep very small.